welcome to Spectrum News. I am Rachel David White, coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. Let's take a look at the headlines. Federal government suspends accreditation of degree certificates from Benin Republic, Togo. INEC sets stage for Taraba by-election plus. Israel launches airstrikes in Syria. We'll bring you details of stories and many more in a moment. First, in the news this afternoon is a report that former Senate President David Mark has called on President Bola Tinubu to review the country's security architecture to make it more proactive and strategic towards addressing challenges. Mark said these in a statement issued by his media advisor Paul Mume in Kano today. The former Senate President said a review will identify the loopholes and devise a means to end insecurity. According to him, the Plateau incident in which scores of citizens were massacred should be a wake-up call for the security challenge needs urgent attention. In another development, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has officially scheduled the by-election for Jalingo and Yaro and Zing Federal Constituency in Taraba State on February 3, 2024. The by-election is necessitated by the passing away of the elected member for the constituency shortly after the 2023 general election, Ismaila Yeshua Mehansi. At the time of filing this report, 6 out of 8 aspirants jostling for the position from the various political parties are from the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Although the leadership of INEC in the state were not available at the time of filing this report to speak on the level of preparations. To Nigeria's leader, President Bola Tinubu has approved the immediate suspension and investigation of Halima Shehu, the national coordinator and CEO of the National Social Investment Program Agency, over alleged financial malfeasance. With the suspension and investigation into the allegation, the National Empower Program Manager, Dr. Akindele Egboalu, has been appointed in acting capacity as NC and CEO pending the conclusion of the investigation. From another scene, the federal government has suspended the accreditation and evaluation of the degree certificate from Benin Republic and Togo. The move followed a report detailing how a degree was acquired from a university in Benin Republic in under 2 months. The spokesperson for the Ministry of Education, Agustina Obilo-Duru, said the report lends credence to suspicions that some Nigerians deploy nefarious means and unconscionable methods to get a degree with the end objective of getting graduate job opportunities for which they are not qualified. The ministry called on Nigerians to assist in providing information to help the committee as it seeks lasting solutions to prevent future occurrences. Meanwhile, the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, says automation of passport applications process will begin from January 8, 2024, and Nigerians will be able to apply and complete their passport application process online without human contact. Tunji-Ojo said these in Abuja during an inspection of facilities of the Nigeria Immigration Service (NIS) alongside the Controller General (CG) of the service, Wura Ola Adepoju. He said training had started and that on January 8th, the solution will be live and direct for Nigerians who have a good feel, a sweet experience based on the renewed hope of the president. Tunji-Ojo said the government wants to bring an end to the era of people bringing fake documents for passport application, even as he announced that the service now has document verification officers across all local government areas in the country to scrutinize passport applications in the country. And from the Green Chamber, Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas has said that the National Assembly will support the 2024 budget implementation process to ensure it delivers on its expectations to Nigerians. Abbas, who was physically present while Tinubu was ascending to the 2024 budgetary appropriations, said the president in his address mentioned that the promise of delivering the dividends of democracy based on the 2024 budget is not a mere promise, noting that the budget will lay the foundation of the renewed hope agenda. He said the budget is what Nigerians have been yearning for, adding that the National Assembly will work together to ensure the budget is well delivered. In a separate development, the Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang has declared a one-week mourning over the recent attacks in the North Central State. Mutfwang said about 200 persons were killed and scores wounded in separate attacks in the state in the last 2 weeks. While declaring the one-week mourning period, the governor told residents of the state that flags will be flying at half mast during the time, adding that the mourning period begins from January 1st to January 8, 2024. Back here, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Omoino yesterday expressed hope and confidence that 2024 will be a year of restoration, of increase and of expansion across the length and crannies of the state. In his New Year broadcast message to the people, the governor called on them to continue to pray for his administration, support him by the government in their thoughts and actions with love and unity. He urged the people to strive to look out for the downtrodden and vulnerable and give them a reason to be hopeful. He used the occasion to reassure the people that his government is paying deep attention to developing and improving the quality of life of residents in both the urban and rural areas, as well as the maintenance of expansion of infrastructure in the state. Stating that so far he has flagged off and funded the construction of not less than 17 roads across the state, ensuring that the roads are selected across the 3 senatorial districts in the state. While enumerating his achievement in agricultural infrastructure, entrepreneurial, education, aviation, and health sector, amongst others, the governor again reiterated his commitment to fulfilling his campaign promises to the people.
To build an international market in Akwa Ibom local government area. We believe that this market will boost the economic activities of our state and will reduce production costs for most of our young entrepreneurs who often have to travel out to buy their raw materials. We are committed to ensuring that work commences on this project within the first half of this year. My dear compatriots, what we have achieved in 7 months gives us hope on what lies ahead in the new year. We will continue to demystify the work of governance and bring governance closer to the people. This we have already demonstrated in more ways than one. I have ensured that all the wards in this state have a personal aide, working and reporting directly to my office. I have ensured that all the units have a watcher of the Ibom community was drawn from them. I have taken time to consult with our stakeholders in most of my initiatives so far. I shall continue to run an all-inclusive government, paying respect to all our past leaders. I therefore call on you to continue to pray for us, support us, and bind our thoughts and actions with love and unity. We should strive to look out for the downtrodden and vulnerable and give them a reason to be hopeful.
And moving now to Africa, where following an emergency cabinet meeting today, Somalia rejected a deal signed Monday between its breakaway region of Somaliland and Ethiopia. The East African country said the pact has no legal validity and would endanger regional stability. Mogadishu also summoned its ambassador to Ethiopia Reports say the port agreement between Ethiopia and Somaliland would recognize the region as an independent nation in due course. Still in Africa, Chad's transitional leader general Mohamed Idris Deby has appointed long-time opposition figure Success Masra as the country's new prime minister. Chad's new secretary general of the presidency, Mohamed Al-Habo, said Masra will serve through the transition to civilian rule. Masra, who was previously a critic of the military-led government, returned from exile in November last year and backed the recent constitutional referendum spearheaded by General Deby. On the foreign scene, Israel launched pre-dawn airstrikes near the Syrian capital today, state media said, citing a military source at a time of heightened regional tensions over the Gaza war. Britain-based war monitor, the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights in Israel, had targeted a military position that also housed members of Lebanon's Iran-backed armed group Hezbollah near the town of Kanaka. Israel rarely comments on individual strikes targeting Syria, but it has repeatedly said it will not allow acts for Iran, which backs President Bashar al-Assad's government, to expand its presence there. Meanwhile, the reported Israeli strikes were the year's first in Syria, where it has intensified attacks in the wake of its war, while Palestinian's militant group Hamas. During more than a decade of civil war in Syria, Israel has launched hundreds of airstrikes on its territory, primarily targeting Iran-backed forces as well as Syrian army positions. And still on a foreign scene, Japan's transport ministry says 5 people who were on board the Coast Guard plane that collided with a Japan Airlines passenger jet JL 516 in Tokyo have died, disclosing that the captain escaped but is severely injured. The Japan's Coast Guard says the Coast Guard plane was heading to join the earthquake rescue effort, which killed at least 48 people. Meanwhile, the Japan Airlines said all 379 passengers and crew on board of JAL 516 have been evacuated. Still to come in the news, Hermoso tells court that World Cup keys not consensual. Stay with us.
Business exists only to meet the needs of the people, but there's an extra advantage if your product and services are pitched on a platform that gives you the added advantage over your competitors. For your desired return on investment and so much more, advertise on Spectrum Television, on StarTime's DTH Channel 421 and on free-to-air with a frequency of 12733. Spectrum Television, broadening your horizon.
Spectrum TV, broadening your horizon.
Welcome back and many thanks for staying with us. Over now to our business news. On our business news, with hope surrounding the potential licensing of exchange-traded spot Bitcoin funds, the world's largest cryptocurrency kicked off a new year with a bang as Bitcoin surged beyond $45,000 today for the first time since April 2022. With its highest year performance since 2020, Bitcoin gained 156% last year and reached a 21-month high of $45,532. It is still far from the record of high of $69,000 it achieved in November 2021, even though it was up 2.5% at $45,318 as of late. After rising 91% in 2023, the token associated with the Ethereum blockchain network was 1.45% higher than $2,386 on Tuesday. According to reports, the main concern among investors have been whether the U.S. securities regulator will soon authorize a spot Bitcoin ETF, which would attract billions of dollars in investment and open up the Bitcoin market to millions more people. Still in business, data from the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) has revealed that Nigeria got $1.71 billion in foreign loans to boost foreign exchange inflow into the country in the first 9 months of 2023. According to NBS data, total capital importation, including foreign direct investment, foreign portfolio investment, and others, amounted to $2.82 billion in the time under review. It added that so far foreign loans have been responsible for 60.80% of foreign exchange inflows into the country. In health, Numbeo, a research firm focusing on data that centers around quality of life, has ranked Lagos as the 8th city with the best healthcare system in Africa. In the list, Numbeo uses an elaborate algorithm to arrive at rank Cape Town in South Africa first, Pretoria second, and Nairobi third. Modern tech-high hospitals are starting to expand in these cities, guaranteeing that the people living there have access to top-notch healthcare. According to an updated health index analysis from Numbeo, African cities are performing well in terms of cost of living, quality of life, and numerous socioeconomic characteristics across cities and nations worldwide. Still in health, public health physicians have said that pregnant women and other vulnerable Nigerians are coming down with malaria due to the climate change, despite strides in expanding access to the insecticide-treated nets and medicines to prevent and treat malaria in young children. The physicians said there is a nexus between climate change and malaria, insisting that changes in temperature, humidity, and rainfall due to climate change influence the behavior and survival of malaria-carrying female Anopheles mosquitoes responsible for transmission of malaria, citing the 2022 deadly flooding in Pakistan, which led to a 5-fold increase in malaria cases in the country. Experts said extreme weather events such as heat waves and flooding can directly impact transmission and disease burden. To sport now, where Spanish World Cup winning star Janine Hermoso told a judge today that the keys forced on her by disgraced former Spanish football chief Luis Rubiales was at no point consensual and that she had come under pressure to defend his actions. After arriving at the Audiencia Nacional in Madrid just before 10 a.m., the 33-year-old went to testify before George Francisco the George, who is investigating Rubiales on allegations of sexual assault and coercion. During the incident on August 20, the then head of Spain's Ref Football Federation held her head in both hands and forcibly kissed her on her lips after Spain won the World Cup in Australia. She filed a lawsuit against him in September and told the judge she had come under pressure to defend Rubiales, both on a flight back from Australia and on a subsequent team holiday in Ibiza in the Balearic Islands. Meanwhile, under Spanish law, a non-consensual kiss can be considered sexual assault, a criminal category that groups all types of sexual violence. Penalties for such a case ranges from a fine of 4 years in prison. Still on sport, Wayne Rooney has been fired as manager of Birmingham City after only 15 matches. Rooney arrived at St Andrews on October 11th on a 3.5-year contract. At the time, the club sat in 6th place in the championship following back-to-back wins under former manager John Eustace. Under Rooney, Birmingham lost 9 of the 15 games they played. It leaves the club in 20th place in the championship table. On entertainment news, Eula Edochie's estranged wife and media personality May Edochie has penned down her emotions following the tragic loss of her son Kambili in 2023. She shared how the past year had been a challenging ride for her, describing it as a series of catastrophic events that left her sad. May Edochie spoke on the adversities and misfortunes she faced in 2023, saying that despite dealing with despair, she admitted that she almost gave up, but found strength in her faith and learned not to question God's will. Expressing gratitude, May also appreciated the support she received from family, friends, and even strangers, both offline and in the online community. And still on entertainment, Mohbad's father, Apostle Oluwa Bamiwo Aloba, popularly known Omojesu, has announced the impending arrival of a new gospel album. The album, titled Itunu, means comfort, and it is a tribute to his late son Mohbad, who passed away on September 12, 2023 at the age of 27. Mohbad's father's upcoming album is set to join the long list of tribute songs dedicated to the late Nigerian musician, who was one of the hip-hop's foremost emissaries. And that's all we have for this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtvlive.ng. You've been watching Spectrum News at 4. I am Rachel David White. Happy New Year.